It's Halloween time, and it's good to see a good Halloween-based movie. This one is called Haunt, and it's on Shudder, and we're going to talk about it right here on Horror and Coffee. Hi guys, if you like what you see on this channel, please consider subscribing. Tap on the bell for future notifications, and please consider subscribing. It's kind of like a low-key review here. My buddy Victor advised me to watch Haunt on Shudder, so I checked it out, and let me tell you, that movie was crazy. It's all about this group of kids, young college age kids that go to a haunted house on Halloween and try to get a good scare and everything. But the place that they end up going to ends up being a little bit more than they bargained for. It's filled with, at first it looks like your typical haunted house. It has the, pop up skeletons and whatnot. It gets really, really bad after that. After a while, they start realizing, wait a minute, this is real. And deaths happen. They lose a good portion of their group. I'm not going to tell you who or what. This is a spoiler-free review because I want you guys to check it out. It came out last year, and I guess with the pandemic and everything kind of like fell out of sight. But then, because it's Halloween time, this ended up being quite a watch. Watch this at night with the lights off. Now, I don't know who these people are. There's no real explanation as to who these evil people are that set up this haunted house. They wanted to, kill people and make them believe that this was a actual haunted house. It seems as if they were all sadistic and they lived crazy sadistic lives, and they just wanted to, implement some kind of crazy human killing on Halloween night. The main protagonist is this young girl who's part of the group. She's going through her own troubles and everything. She has an abusive boyfriend who's an alcoholic, and she also talks a lot about her childhood pains. There's a lot of reference to something that happened to her when she was young. Her dealing with the pain of her childhood experience, which you see in the movie, plays a factor in this film later on, as you will eventually see for yourself. She's down and out. She doesn't want to, be out and about because she's depressed about her boyfriend and her abusive boyfriend. So her friends are, come on, let's have a good time. So they go out and they all have a good time, and then they go to a haunted house for scares. But they ended up getting a lot more than scares. A lot of them end up getting it really, really, really bad. Now, of course, not every horror, this movie isn't without its errors and flaws. I found a couple of flaws, it's like when they ended up, dealing with the issue, when they realized that their lives were in mortal danger, they kept on doing stupid things like, dropping the weapon they were using. I'd hold on to that thing for dear life. Stuff like that. However, I have to admit, they took care of how in many horror movies these days, they're like, how come you don't use your cell phones, right? That's something that's always a big issue. They explained it well in this movie why cell phones were not going to be it was written well into the storyline about the use of cell phones when you're being chased after a maniac or a group of maniacs. And I was like, oh, okay. I like that. That was pretty good. The role of the abusive boyfriend, though, in my opinion, in the movie, it plays into the plot, but it didn't really do much for me. As a matter of fact, it didn't really do much for the story. I was like, well, why bother even factoring him in? These killers are absolutely insane, and they have good reason to. That it kind of had a it was Halloween, but it had a Hills Had Eyes kind of vibe to it, which was pretty intense. If you saw when the hills have eyes, you get what I mean when you watch Haunt. It had this crazy thing, and of course you have the clown masks, and then you have the ghosts mask, and you have all different kind of masks and costumes and everything, and you go through all these rooms and everything that a haunted house would have to offer. And when you see that happening to these people, you don't know whether it's harmless or harmful. And, it plays tricks with you. It's like a mind bending film. And that was one of the parts that made it scary. That's one of the parts that that made me even jump a couple of times, especially towards the end. Towards the end, it gave me a Stephen King kind of freak for a second there that I thought was amazing. But I liked how it turned out. The movie has its definite Halloween vibe to it, definite Halloween spirit to it. It has the scare, it has the potency of a good modern day horror story. I advise you watch it on Shudder. If it comes out on Blu-ray, heck, buy it. I think I'm gonna buy it actually on Blu-ray when it comes out. I'm gonna give Haunt 3 coffee cups. Okay, if it wasn't for some of the a couple of the flaws that I detected, the whole thing about the weapons and the boyfriend, I would have probably given it 4. But because of, I was like, all right. But it's still a good watch. Like, I would watch it again with a group of people. It's definitely a movie you're going to want to see with your friends. You know how, like, people like to watch scary movies on actual Halloween night, during a party or whatever. Hey, man, let's go see a scary movie. Let's see what they got. Watch Haunt, okay? Watch Haunt on Halloween night. It'll get your blood going. It'll get your blood pumped. And if you're drinking coffee, it'll get your caffeine wired. What are your thoughts about Haunt? Talk to me, comment below, and share with me what you think about this movie for Halloween season. Since we're all going to be home for the most part, I don't think Trick or Treat has been banned because of the pandemic, but just in case a lot of people are probably staying in this year for Halloween, hey, you know what? One of the cool things you can do is watch a good scary movie on Halloween night. Watch Haunt on Shudder. I mean, thing had me going. I'm gonna watch it again. It was really good, so I'll give it that. So please, again, tap on that bell for future notifications for future Horror and Coffee content, and consider subscribing below and comment. Please comment. I want to hear your thoughts about this. Let's keep the algorithm going on this. Horror and Coffee, month of October, Halloween time. All right? This is Ralph Perez from Horror and Coffee. Take care.